What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Bottles Spinning. Today, as you can see, we have volume 29 of the random boosters. Of course, I do have the entire set here, so we will be opening all 6 at some point. We're not gonna do all of it in one video because I think that's gonna be too much. That said, we are slightly a little bit late. Most of the YouTubers online have already shown Chain Kerbeus and Drigger V2. So I figured maybe we'll start out with some of the other ones since these two have been talked about repeatedly in the past week or so. But these, I haven't seen many people talking about them, probably because the parts are from Dynamite Battle that we've already seen quite a bit, except for this one, of course. This one has chain as well. So I figured why not talk about some of these first, and then at the very end we will be opening Chain Kerbeus and Drigger V2. Okay? That said, I don't know which one I'm gonna talk about, so we're gonna open 2 of them and see which one comes out first. We'll talk about them. This first video we'll talk about 2 at once. So we'll open them. If it is Chain Kerbeus or Drigger V or both, then we'll open 2 more. And so on until we get 2 that are not these 2, and then talk about those. So yeah, let's open these babies up. And here are the 2 Beyblades that we got, and I'm pretty happy with this. As you can see, this is Roar Spriggan. Fantastic color scheme, yellow and a cyan kind of green. I do like that quite a bit, and I just think it's fantastic. It does have armor 2, but I just think it's a fantastic way to get the parts, mostly because Spriggan, it came in either random boosters or on the customized set, right, which is more expensive than normal starter sets. So there was no like sure way to get to Spriggan without paying a higher price. So getting him from any random booster is also always fantastic. You can of course change the modes with it. It does come with a tool, but I kind of put it away. So it does come with a tool so that you can use it in any of your DB blades. You can use it in any left spinning or right spinning, so that's fantastic. It's always a fantastic chip to have. The blade itself, it's Roar, which again as well, it is usually seen on you could only get it from random boosters or from that battle set, the full complete set or whatever it was called, and otherwise you couldn't get it. So getting it from a random booster is always fantastic to have. I'm having fun pressing this stuff, but yeah, the interesting thing is usually with Bahamut, when it usually comes with Bahamut, and Bahamut doesn't have any teeth, but it does have the little tabs, little blocks, right? And so without it, you would have to rely on the Forge Disc tab. You can see that when it's not damaged, these little wings, they will go in and out. So when you're spinning fast, I'm assuming this will be out, but then when you get hit, this will go in without any issues. So it will kind of like absorb the impact a little bit. But as it gets damaged and the tab gets pushed here, where that little arrow was, like this part, that will make it so that this little wing part will stay out, making it a lot more rounder. So it will be able to, like, it will be more like it will be rounder, and it will be rounder, so it will making it rounder, making it behave differently. It's I think it's a fantastic mechanic. I think it would probably work best with Bahamut because it was made specific for it. But with other chips, I think it could work as well. The Forge Disc is Fortress, which is pretty heavy, though it could be heavier. As you can see, there's some holes in it. But the weight distribution is very even. It's kind of hexagonal, kind of round, but like you can see the weight points. I think it's great. It's not too bad. It's okay. And the driver is Kick. We saw this on Vanish Fafnir, and it is called Kick because it does have this little platform and spring, which is mostly for balance. If you do tip, this platform will kind of like kick off the ground to make it stable again, to have it stand up straight. So, you know, all in all, pretty good combo. I do like it. It's okay. But we did get Chain Rocktavor as the other booster pull, and I think this is fantastic. First of all, because we didn't have a Rocktavor chip yet in our collection, so you know everything is new here. The chip doesn't have any gimmick, of course. It's just a normal chip, but you know that makes it okay. And the armor is a 10. We saw this recently with Prominence Phoenix. And it's a great armor because it does have, supposedly has 10 weight points on the armor, so it is one of the heavier ones. It's an okay one. It is a solid metal piece. Let me take the chip out to explain the blade now. I will take the armor as well and show you that it is pretty solid weight. But the blade, this is our first Burst Ultimate blade, which is fantastic. You can see that it is pretty tall, like a wall. It's a defensive, thick blade. Prominence was also pretty thick, but you know this is one solid piece that doesn't come off, right? So it is pretty great. It does have this chain parts. That's why it's called chain. You can see that it does form like a chain thing. These parts in silver, they don't go in, but this parts in blue, you can see that there's like some holes in there that they do go in. If you have the Kerbeus chip, it is more rounder, so these will be able to go in and out like this, so that when it's spinning, they will be out, and then when it gets hit, it will absorb, kind of like what I was showing here, right? These tabs going in and out, that's what it could do. But when you put other chips like Rocktavor, which you can see that it does come out more, it will it will fill out those spots so that it doesn't go in, so it will make it more solid, right? And so it will be more of like a counter-attack kind of a blade. So you know, it's cool that you can change the mode by changing the chip. I think that's it's a fantastic way to customize your Beyblade, and that just makes me a lot more excited for Burst Ultimate series. Pretty excited for what they will come up with in the future. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. The color also I think is amazing. That blue is just so pretty, very cool. The forces that came with it is the tapered, and the taper we also saw in Vanish Fafnir. And it is like a skirt that comes down to stabilize the weight distribution around the Beyblade and more near the bottom, right? But it's not like a super heavy forge disc or anything. And I think it could work well, but the problem is we do get a Dash XL, which is fantastic, nothing against XL. We used to see XL a lot on single layer, double layer. It is a flathead, so it will have a very decent attack pattern and everything. But because it is a driver that we used to see a lot in single and double layer when Beyblades were smaller, this driver is a lot smaller. You can definitely tell that it is quite shorter, quite thinner, smaller, lighter. And so with tapered, like, I don't know, guys, it would just be this really wide Beyblade with like a tiny tip, especially with tapered, I think it would scrape a lot because the tip is so thin. If it gets hit, it would scrape on the arena. This being very round could kind of help it somewhat when it's scraping, but I feel like it would, because it's wide, it would just make it lose balance more often. So it's kind of interesting. It is a dash though, so it will be less prone to bursting, I guess, at least. But I'm pretty excited to see how they do. So let's assemble them and test them out. And that's it, folks. Spriggan did manage to win every single one, and it is fantastic. It is. I think the roar does help quite a bit, since it is a left rotation and everything. But I was pretty surprised by chain as well. It does a lot of smaller attacks. You can see it going, hitting several times in short period of time. And I think that's fantastic. I think I'm pretty happy with the performance of both of them. But yeah, with Chain, it did scrape a lot when he got hit. So, that could have also affected how these battles turned out. But take the conclusions you'd like from that. This is all I had to say. Leave us a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to see more videos like this. We are bringing more Beyblades of all sorts and kinds from all generations to this series. Other spinning tops that are not Beyblade, and sometimes stuff that are not even spinning tops, but that we try to spin it for the fun of it. So if you're interested in those, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay nerdy, guys.